Hello, this is Jamie Maggart. Welcome to Jamie's Craft Table. Today I'm going to show you how I made this card. There's a little secret spot there as well. So let's get started. It uses quite a few stamp sets just because I'm just using like bits and pieces. 4-season floral. I'm using this one here. I'm not even sure it's still around. Daisy Lane, I'm using this one here. Heal Your Heart, I'm using this sentiment. Okay, we're going to need a some sort of scoring tool. I'm also using the medium daisy punch, a 1/2-inch circle punch, Pool Party, and Memento ink. I have a 5 1/4 by 12-inch piece of designer series paper. Oops, this piece doesn't need to be there. I have a scrap of white. It's like 3 by 5. I have 2 pieces of saffron that I've cut out with this die from Nature's Thoughts. And then I have 2 pieces that are 2 3/4 by 4 1/4. Then I have a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2-inch piece. And those are all the saffron. So basically it's 1 sheet of cardstock minus that. Okay? It's a designer series paper buster is what this one is. Okay. I've already scored it, but I'm going to show you anyway. Oh, and like an 18-inch piece of ribbon, whatever ribbon, if you want a ribbon. This one I didn't put a ribbon on. There's no ribbon on this one, but I think I'm going to put a ribbon on the next one. Okay, so you're going to take your designer series paper. You're going to put it in your scoring tool, whatever one you want, so that it's the long side is at the top, and you're going to score it at 1 inch, at 4 inches, and at 8 inches. And this is not my idea. I did see it on another video, and I can't remember now. Okay, so then we're going to take the little end, the 1-inch end, and we're going to fold it towards us. Crease that real well. You can bring in your bone folder. Okay, then the next the fold at the 4-inch mark, it's going to get folded back on itself. So that's what you have so far. And then this one is going to get folded so that this edge and this fold and this edge meet. Okay, so that's, and you can use any paper. You'll see it's a different paper because I ran out of this one. I already used all but little pieces. Okay, so that's what we have. Okay, so let's set that aside. We're done with the scoring. Okay, out of the white piece, we're going to take our daisy and we're going to punch out 4 daisies. And I stagger it like this so I can get as much as I can out of the paper. You might want to do 6 and have a 3rd flower. I just had the 2. Whoops, right there. Okay, so we're done with that. Let's put these aside for a minute. Now I'm going to bring in one of my pieces that was cut out with the die. I'm going to bring in this stamp and the Memento black ink. Ink that up. And I'm going to stamp it over on this side of that card. closer towards the bottom. Perfect. Okay. Then I'm going to take the other one that is cut out with the die. And I'm going to stamp the sentiment. Use whatever sentiment you want. Right in the middle. Okay. I'm going to just bring in a scratch paper. I'm going to bring in this daisy from the Four Season Floral, but you can use anything you want or not put anything else on there if you want. That's fine too. And I'm going to stamp one of these right underneath the thank you, but over onto the left side a little. And I'm going to ink it again, and I'm going to lower it and tilt it the other way and stamp another one. Okay. And on one of these pieces, I'm going to stamp this flower again, right smack in the middle. Okay, that's all of our stamping, so I can put this aside away. I'm done with the memento. Okay, I'm going to bring in those daisies. I'm going to bring in oh, I also need a little scrap of that paper to punch out some half-inch circle punches out of. So from your scrap, just going to punch out 2 circles. And those will be for the center of your daisy. Okay, so now on these, we're going to bring in our Wink of Stella. We're going to bring in the Pool Party ink. And I'm going to bring in a block because I don't like inking up I don't like getting the inside of my thing inky. Stamp my block in my ink with the Wink of Stella. I'm going to just, on the inside end of each one of these petals, I'm just going to paint a little of this ink. And I did this because you'll see in these flowers here, I don't know if you can see it, but there's just a little blue paint in each one of those. You'll see it even in this paper, probably more so in this paper. Might wash it out, be washing it out, but so that's what I'm doing. I'm just painting a little blue at the end of each one of these petals. Just going to take a minute here. A couple more. One more. Alright, they don't have to be perfect. I'll show you close up in just a second here so you can actually see what I'm doing. It just looks like little paint marks, like I just painted a little dab of color. Just wipe this off so it runs clear. Put the cap back on it. Put this side so I don't get ink everywhere. Okay. And I just wanted to show you so you can see close up. See? Alright. Now I've got these 2 yellow flowers. I'm going to bring in dimensionals. I'm going to put a dimensional on the back of, or yellow circles, excuse me, a dimensional on the back of each one of those. I bring in my glue. I'm going to put a little dab of glue in the center of 2 of these. Oh, come on, glue. Okay, then we're going to offset these petals. Let me move this so you can actually see. I'm going to offset those petals so that it looks like a fuller flower. Okay. So stick those 2 together. Stick these 2 together. Okay, now I'm going to bring in my bone folder. And I want to curl the petals up. So I'm just going to turn it over like this. I'm going to hold it firmly in the center. I'm just going to very gently curl these petals up. See? I'm going to do that with this one. See how I have my finger? Like sandwiching it between. That way it's less chance of tearing those petals off. Got to do it gently. Okay. Now I'm going to take these and I'm just going to kind of pinch on the edges a little bit. I'm going to take that back off. And I'm going to stick that right in the center of the flower. Okay, so I'm going to pinch on the edges, kind of fold those edges over a little bit. See? Okay, then I'm going to take that back off, put it right in the center. Okay, let's set those aside for a minute. Alright, now I'm going to take my 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 piece. I'm going to take my piece of Designer Series paper. I'm going to set it on there. I'm not going to glue it yet. I'm going to take my ribbon, place it underneath it. I'm going to center so that the 2 ends, the one on the underneath is maybe 1 inch longer than this one. I want it down towards the bottom a little bit. I'm going to turn it over. I'm going to bring in some Scotch tape, and of course it's moved again. I'm going to just put a piece of Scotch tape on the back to hold that in place. You don't need one quite as big, but alright. Then we're going to put adhesive on the back of that. Right over the ribbon. Put it in the center. Okay. And we're going to center that up on the front of this card. You want the opening, it looks weird. The short part, or the folded part, is on the left-hand side. You're going to give yourself about 1/8 of an inch border all the way around. And put that down. Okay. Now we're going to open it up this way. Let's do it correctly. Let's add the sentiment on the inside first. Trying to get used to using this. You know, it's just a matter of using it. Center that in the center of this. Okay. Now we're going to take that one plain one. Figure out which side you want down. I'm going to put glue on the back of it. Okay, now we're going to put it with the glue side up. If you have something stamped on here, make sure it's right side up, you know, not upside down. We're going to center that on the top of this piece. And we're going to close this down on top of it. Okay. Now we're going to take this piece. And we have to be careful because part of it's going to be hanging off. So like we can put glue on this side of it on the back. So it kind of, there's just like a 1/2 inch there that you can't put glue. So I'm going to put glue like here. Okay, center that. I want it a little bit higher. Okay, and we're going to take this piece. We're going to do the same thing over here. We're going to center that inside of, you can see where those corners are, so you know it's centered. We need to get glue on the back of it. Again, make sure it's right side up. Whoops, come on. Now make sure the flower isn't upside down unless you want it that way. Okay, I'm going to fold the whole card right over on top of it. I think it moved a little bit. Let's see if I can straighten it. Okay, so now we've got this. Now we're going to bring our flowers. We're going to put a little wet glue on the back. You could use a glue dot if you'd rather. I'll put one at the top of this flower here, or stem. Figure out where you want to put your other one. I'm going to put mine here. I'm going to tie my bow. You want the bow over on this side. Just want to make sure your strings are not curved, twisted. Come on. The hardest time tying bows on camera. Go in there. Oh. There we go. Tighten that down. Pull this one down. So it's going underneath. Okay, so there's our card. Okay, and then I'll untie it. So you open it like this. Gives you a place to write a message if you want, or stamp something else. And then there's another spot over here in case they open it wrong. It's like when I gave it to my husband, he opened it like this. So, there you go. Well, thanks for joining me at Jamie's Craft Table today. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I hope you can find a little bit of time to play with some stamps, ink, and paper. And you can use any paper they all would work with that. Thanks. Have a great day.